everyone, welcome to Xbox Live Network. This is Deus Legend here with Fragments of Him. New idea at Xbox game released today here on the Xbox Store. Appreciate everyone for checking us out here. At the conclusion of this broadcast, this will be uploaded to our YouTube channel, just in case you miss any of the action. This game was developed by Sassy Butt Studio and is available on the Xbox Store for the price of $9.99. It is 10.1 gigabytes. Sit back and enjoy this game here.
Bye, Harry. See you tonight. So many memories, and I've not taken the time to think about how much they mean to me. It's time for a change. The little things matter. Take this elevator button. Someone made it look that way, and I never even thought about it once. There are so many things I've never really looked at. Things that work perfectly, but I just ignore. I get stuck in patterns, doing the same thing every day. It feels like I'm locked in. I'm going to change things. I don't want to lose where we've got to by not paying attention to it. Some routine is good, sure. But, I don't know. We're getting lazy. I don't want that. Things are okay, but they're not going anywhere. I'll tell him tonight. It was easy to get lazy, to let things fall slowly into a dull routine. Things are okay, but they're not going anywhere. I'll tell him tonight. I love that cafe. On warm evenings, sometimes I sit there with a glass of wine, waiting to catch Harry on his way back from work. We used to walk in the park together. We should do more of that. I'm happy with him. I have to be sure he knows that. Patterns. The same start again. The same alarm tone that Harry can sleep through. I think of these routines as optimized living, like they allow me time to focus on other things. But I've not been doing that. I think I'll wear this one. It's Harry's favorite t-shirt on me. Great stories trapped in a moment. They're brilliant, but maybe I should add some new ones. I feel like I've barely glanced at this picture for years. I love it as much as when I first saw it. These daily things, they're good, but weigh us down too. I've got to a good place in life, but I feel like I'm not taking it further. Even here I get into patterns. Bathroom first, then kitchen for breakfast. Maybe I should change that. Yeah, let's not get carried away with changing everything. Only change if it makes sense. It's time to get with the program. I believe in this relationship. Time to show it. I love Harry. I should ask him to marry me. Wow. Yes, husband and husband for the rest of our lives. When I was at uni, I loved Sarah, but I didn't feel this way. I loved her, do love her, but not how I feel about Harry.
I was so frightened on my first day at university. My parents drove me to the student village in the car stuffed with everything I owned in the world. I've no idea how well I did at pretending to look confident. If anyone else noticed, they didn't say. They were probably doing it too. Paul always liked Will. I doubt my biological dad would have. It seemed like I had an enormous amount of stuff. I went inside first. I had a room to myself in a shared house, and we already had the keys. I don't remember where we got them from. Mum or Paul must have picked them up from the admin person, I guess. I felt butterflies in my stomach when I walked into my dorm room for the first time. I was really nervous, and I didn't think about how Mum and Paul felt leaving me there. It was scary for me, but must have been... I don't know. I suppose I'll understand someday what it's like to say goodbye to your child. When they left that day, they would be going home to an empty house, you know? I was unloading in a dream. I had a room that was all my own. It seemed unreal. Cheap carpet and a thin mattress. It didn't matter. It was my space.
Oh, my mic was muted. Hey, Baldassar. Not sure if you heard me.
Do you remember the first time you had a place to yourself? To be able to lock the door and really tell everyone to stay away.
Welcome to the
Or
stream.
to ask someone in. I think we all must feel the same.
Very interesting game so far. Not sure what's to make of it just yet.
I wondered if anyone was going to be interested in me. We all probably felt like we weren't... I don't know. There's that thing at 18 when you are acting more than being. We all feel like everyone else has the secret of confidence. I felt average, but I wasn't. None of us are, really. I was trying hard to be something unique, but felt so very, very average. And a freak at the same time. Like everyone else knew how to fit in naturally. Actually, cute's the right word. I didn't really think about sexy back then, I guess. It's funny to think back like this now.
Got an achievement. 100 points. Sarah. Started Sarah's story arc. Very long loading screens in this game.
Will must have been in the lectures over the first few weeks, but I didn't notice him, if I'm honest. I was so busy with everything and just learning how to live, do laundry, cook every day, that kind of thing. I next remember seeing Will through the window of the Union Bar. I recognized him then from the first day, and I remembered liking how he'd look back at me then. The Union usually played the dancey stuff. Higher State of Consciousness was still on heavy rotation, but sometimes they played the better stuff. Blur, Pulp, a bit older stuff like In Spiral Carpets, but not often. As much as it was tacky in there, I miss it too. It was crowded, hard to talk, and the floor was sticky from spilled Alka-Pops, but it was fun. I guess I set my sights on him that night. I was determined to at least talk to him. It's not easy to find someone when you're not so tall and the lights are low. Spotting Will in the crowd was hard. It had only been a few weeks, but I felt like a new woman already. Or I was on my way, at least. I know it sounds weird, but I always felt that Will was a good person. The kind of person I wanted to be around. It was true, too.
There's Will.
I joined in whatever the conversation was that Will was having. I've no idea what we talked about. I don't think there was any doubt about my intentions. It was hard to talk over the music. We had a couple of drinks, and then I remember pulling him outside. I love that tingle when you hope something is going to happen. When you know you're going to try something nice. The cold night air hit me, and I felt a little dizzy. And that was when he first kissed me.
Okay. Hey James, welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping in.
Our first proper date was to the cinema. We sat in the middle, surrounded by people. I felt nervous to touch him with all the people nearby. We sat there fidgeting, wanting to touch but scared to. I wanted to hold his hand, but he seemed to shy away. Or maybe he didn't intend that. I kept looking sideways to see if he was looking at me. I tried not to move my head too much in case he wasn't looking and noticed that I was.
Yep, this is a date. We're playing Date Simulator.
I shifted in my seat a bit, letting my leg touch his. I was so smooth. The film had that guy in it who always acts crazy but then does lots of action kick-ass stuff. We weren't really paying
Date
attention.
sim.
It was like everything else faded. I plucked up the courage and put my hand on his leg.
It's getting hot in here. Yep.
Lovely, shy smiles. He reached out and gently brushed my cheek with his hand, guiding my face to his.
Can't hear anything. Oh well.
He closed his eyes and kissed me, placing his lips softly onto mine.
No, it's the Twitch app glitching, I guess.
Did you ever fall in love so hard and so much you just knew it would have to end? It was my first time, but even back then.
Let's have it fix itself.
Will always gave the impression of confidence, like he always had a grand plan. I wish I knew if he saw that end coming too, like I
Alright,
felt it
yeah,
was.
it's okay now.
I don't know if
Not
that
sure how
would
this
have made having
stupid
been
app does that
easier.
sometimes. Thanks for letting me know. Yep, thanks James. That's why you're here.
I'd been putting off unpacking all of my boxes, but the next day I finally got round to it. I got out the essentials, of course, but I hadn't felt very motivated to do the rest. I put candles out. I think I thought I'd need to do romantic lighting. I had arranged to see Will later in the week. I was really falling for him. Is it weird to tell you this?
Nope. It was disappointing that they didn't
When
do
I was
anything.
born, someone from my mum's work gave me a toy bunny. I know it's silly, but it makes me happy. I've still got that bunny on a shelf in my room. It's like looking straight into the past and some good times. Even the smell makes me happy. I hung up a tasseled cloth scarf that was my mum's. She's a bit of a hippie. I'd packed loads of my old books. Nothing really related to uni, I just liked having them nearby. I kept on changing my mind. It shouldn't have mattered so much, but I wanted the place to look nice. It's weird how long you think about such small things. The little choices are important. I guess it didn't make any difference, really.
Someone
but I was
has
happy
OCD.
when I was sure I'd got it right. I wanted to feel comfortable when Will came over. Will and I, it felt like a Romeo and Juliet kind of thing, and just as likely to burn us both as to make us happy. But what a lovely way to burn.
Long loading screen time. And here we go.
That Christmas, I met Will's family. We'd been together for 4 months. Do you remember me there?
I do not.
I was head over heels in love with him. I didn't say much in case I blurted out something wrong to his family.
Are they Jewish or something? Looks
We
like
were still at
Hanukkah.
that stage where you constantly want to touch the other person. I love that, but I didn't reach out with his family or there. I got nice shivers when he touched me as he poured my wine. Thanks. The meal went well, I think.
Yeah, you cut that turkey. Yeah.
I think I looked a bit too grungy for the occasion. I felt really self-conscious. I loved him so much, but that feeling I had wouldn't go away, that it was all going to end. That Christmas Day, though, I felt like we had a chance. Things were going well, but over the months, I felt the relationship changing.
I'm afraid I've got bad news for you.
We would listen to music as we fell asleep. Do you remember Enigma? Monks chanting and electronic stuff. We'd put that on a lot and just let ourselves drift off to the music. We listened to a lot of Portishead. Even now when I listen to them, I remember being back in that room, in his arms. We would watch videos in bed together, or whatever was on the TV. There was a transgender character on Coronation Street. We talked about that for a long time. I'm straight and hadn't really thought about my sexuality. It was just what I was. Will was just who he was too.
She's starting to wonder.
It's funny to tell you this now, but I was never jealous of Harry. You'd think I would be, but I loved Will so much. I just wanted him to be happy. We were all, Will, Harry and me, studying on the same English degree. There was a spark between Will and Harry, that much was obvious. I know some people would feel jealous, but I don't know. Being around Harry made Will happy. I'll never forget that time, seeing their friendship grow. I could feel the end of it all shaping up, but we had good times anyway. Though sometimes lonely, in a weird way. It felt like we were the only people in the world. Maybe I didn't mind Will getting closer to Harry because it felt like our own love was too much for two people.
Hey, Best Master, this game is a story game here. You pretty much walk around and touch certain objects
As the
to
months
progress the
went
story.
by, we went out less.
It appears to
We
be
would go out
about
to meet up with
love
Harry
life
and
here,
a couple of other friends, but it was mostly just Will and
and to
me.
find out fragments of him.
It still
Thinking
makes
him
me
is
smile,
Harry.
thinking of that room and those days. It might seem odd to you, but it was my suggestion. I told Will to ask out Harry. I loved him. I knew it would make us all happy for Will to have Harry in his life.
Pretty much you have to pick up
It was something he
pieces
needed
of
to
Will's
do.
life or whatever. It's going to be something interesting that happens here.
I feel lucky. How many times in your life will you be sure you've helped a person find their true love? Though it was rough. For a long
Pretty much
time,
Will
I
influence the
wished that true
lives
love
of
had been me.
those around him. That's the whole scenario of the game.
Let me paint a picture for you of the end. Will had been seeing both me and Harry at the same time for about 6 months. I can see you think that sounds weird, but it really wasn't. We were all open, safe, and honest about it. The picture. It was October, and we met in the basement of the Royal Oak. Smoking was still allowed in pubs, and the faint smell clung to everything. The chairs were covered with a tapestry weaving type of fabric that was worn away from years of use. It was that old, heavy pub furniture. There was the muffled sound of the George Street traffic. I knew what I was going to say to Will. Before I went to university, a friend asked me what love is. I told her that love was being able to tell a person that you never wanted to see them again. Even though it broke your heart to do it, you would tell them to leave you because it was right. I was quite happy with that answer. Like love was something from a Shakespearean tragedy. I hadn't been in love when I said it. I didn't expect to have to do it. I didn't expect to be right. We need to talk.
Oh?
This needs to change.
You mean us?
I feel like I'm getting in your way.
You're not. This is good.
It is good, but it's not right. It's not forever.
You do get to
Isn't
make
this
some
what you
choices in
want?
this game. I'm not sure how much they influence the story, but we'll see later on.
I'm happy with you. I love you, but this isn't about me.
I love you too. I want to be with you.
I know. But that doesn't mean you should be.
Is this it? Can I do anything differently?
No. You've not done anything wrong.
I don't want this.
Me either. But it's right.
I love you.
I love you too. I loved him so much. It hurt so badly to let him go. I never forgot him. Love doesn't just stop when you split up. It barely even fades, really. It just mellows with age and memory. I've never loved anyone like that again. It took me 2 years to get over Will. I could see him falling in love with Harry. Soft and deep love, not like the fire we had. It was beautiful. I didn't really consider that we could all have kept on dating together. You know, it might have worked for a while, but that wasn't what we did. It's just the past. I don't know if what I felt was a proper depression, but it was definitely a really bad time for me. I just worked really hard all of the time and got a great degree grade from it, so that was something good for me from it all.
Answering the phone. Back in the bathroom, eh?
I didn't stop loving Sarah. I haven't stopped. Though
Nudity.
it's different now. We still meet and catch up. There was a reason we dated. She's wonderful. We both moved on okay. In the end.
Get a towel.
I felt terrible when we broke up. But I got it too. I felt loved up,
Put a towel on your
excited
ass.
and giddy, and like an utter asshole at the same time.
Huh. Oh, here we go.
I still feel bad about that time. She tells me not to worry, but I do. And what if I do it to Harry, in the end? It's fine to say that was the past, but I still look at others. I'm human. This is meaningless. I'll only piss him off and hurt him in the end. Why am I doing this to us? He'd be an idiot to marry me.
Hmm.
T. Tea solves everything, if you believe my grandma. Sarah's got a good life now. Her new guy is nice. I might break Carrie's heart too. Perhaps I should just end it now. Man up. That's what my grandma would have said.
We'll see what happens next here. In this love triangle between Harry, Will, and Mary. Or is it Sarah? Her name is Mary.
Naturally, as Will's grandmother, I visited Will in hospital on the first day that he was born. James, Will's father, handed him to me, wrapped in a little blue blanket. I'll never forget that moment. He was such a handsome baby. James ran 3 London pubs in the 1980s, of that punk sort. He looked awful with that leather jacket and those sort of things. That's not the sort of thing for children. So I would babysit as often as possible to make sure he had someone normal in his life. Sharon was an art teacher. She always had her nose in a magazine full of pictures. It's not the way to inspire a young man to a career, if you ask me. It's good for a young boy to be outdoors, but Will never really liked that when he was young. James and Sharon would always be putting on some awful music, if you can call it that. Not my cup of tea at all. I turned it off first thing whenever I was babysitting. Will's birth wasn't very easy, but he got here. He was never going to have brothers or sisters after, though. Sharon, Will's mother, met my James when he was working in London. She's American. They broke up for 3 years, and she took Will to America with her. James had horror books in the house, and I'm so glad they were kept on a high shelf away from Will. Terrible things. I just don't understand what pleasure there is in that kind of story. I loved Will. I always just wanted him to have the best possible start and to be successful. I suppose I sound awful, saying his parents were doing everything wrong. I remember that night because Will had been unusually quiet all evening. He had been in a fight at school.
Fight, eh?
A boy had been calling a dark-skinned girl names. Will told the boy to stop, and he was punched in the stomach. I asked him if he had cried, and he said yes. I told him that big boys don't cry. I remember him asking me then, What do big boys do when they're sad? When he was grown up, I told him he would be a good man. He would be able to stand up to others. He had done the right thing, I told him, even though it hurt him that time. Now I think about this, he didn't seem much happier. What should I have said?
What a goofy goober.
Carrying him, he was trying so hard not to cry. He was so small in my arms. I've never forgotten that feeling.
Okay, got an achievement, 100 points. Mary. Started Mary's story arc.
It's funny the things that you remember. A mix of small things, making up a lifetime.
Well, this would be a nice stopping point for us here on Xbox Live Network. We will upload footage of this to our YouTube channel, so you guys can check that out. We appreciate everyone for checking this out on Twitch. Again, this is Deus Legend for Xbox Live Network. Be sure to follow the channel, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to check out all of our video previews and gameplay footage of new and unreleased Xbox games. I will have all the information in the chat. Again, this will be uploaded to our YouTube channel, so you guys can watch it on demand on YouTube and on our Twitch channel. Again, we appreciate everyone for being here. Thanks for watching Xbox Live Network. Everyone, take care.